Good day. I'm going to discuss the global environment, the strategic management. So, what is globalization and development of global corporation? Why firms globalize? So, we will exhibit the reasons for going global. Globalization refers to the strategy of approaching the worldwide markets with standardized products. Reasons why we globalize. So awareness of the strategic opportunities faced by global corporations and of the threats posed to them is also important to planners in almost every domestic in US industry and worldwide. So understanding the nuances of competing in global markets is rapidly becoming a required competence of strategic managers. Development of a global corporation. So you have four levels. Number one is the minimum effect of the existing management orientation or on existing product lines. Number two is it requires little change in the management or operation. Third, characterized by direct investment in overseas operations, including manufacturing plants. Number four is the most involved level is characterized by a substantial increase in foreign investment, with foreign assets comprising a significant portion of the total assets. Why firms globalize? So number one is under the US firms often can reap benefits from industries and technologies developed abroad. Number two is direct penetration of foreign markets can drain vital cash flows from foreign competitors and domestic operations. Number three is the resulting loss of opportunities, reduced income, and limited production can impair the competitors' ability to invade US markets. Question: should firms be proactive or reactive? Reasons for going global. Proactive means additional resources, lowered cost, incentives, new expanded markets, exploitation of firm specific advantages, taxes, economies of scale, synergy, power and prestige, protect home market. While for reactive, this refers to trade barriers, international customers, international competitor or competition, regulations, and chance. Reasons for going global. Proactive. Advantage or opportunity. Additional resources. So the explanation of action is various inputs including natural resources, technologies, skilled personnel, and materials may obtain more readily outside the home country. Lowered costs, various costs including labor, material, transportation, and financing may be lower outside the home country. Incentives, various incentives may be available from the host government of the home government to encourage foreign investment in specific locations. New and expanded markets. So new and different markets may be available outside the home country. Access the resources including management, skills, machinery, and money can be utilized in foreign locations. Exploitation of firm-specific advantages in terms of taxes, technologies, brands, and recognized names can all provide opportunities in foreign locations. Differing corporate tax rates and tax system in different locations and opportunities for companies to maximize their after-tax worldwide profits. Advantage or opportunity. So economies of skill. The explanation of action is the national markets may be too small to support efficient production, while sales from several combined allow for larger scale production. Synergy. Operations in more than one national environment provide opportunities to combine benefit from one location with another, which is impossible without both of them. Power and prestige. So the image of being international may increase the company's power and prestige and improve its domestic sales and relations with various stakeholders group. Finally, protect home market through offense in competition's home. So strong offense in a competitor's market can put pressure in the competitor that result in a pullback from foreign activities to protect itself at home. Reasons for going global. Reactive. Outside occurrence. These are the trade barriers. So the explanation of reaction. Tariffs, quotas by local policies and other restrictive trade practices can make exports to foreign markets less attractive. Local operations in foreign locations thus becomes attractive. International customers. If a company's customer base becomes international and company wants to continue to serve it, then local operations in foreign locations may be necessary. So the international competition, if a company's competitor becomes international and the company wants to remain competitive, foreign operations may be necessary. Now let us look at the regulations. So regulations and restrictions imposed by the home government may increase the cost of operating at home. It may be possible to avoid this cost by establishing foreign operations. Chance occurrence result in a company deciding to enter foreign locations. Strategic orientation for global firms at the start of globalization. So consider in choosing foreign's manufacturing site. Under number 4, strategic orientation of global firms. And ethnocentric orientation believes that the values and priorities of the parent organization should guide the strategic decision-making of all its operations. And second, the polycentric orientation means the culture of the country in which a strategy is to be implemented is allowed to dominate the decision-making process. A regiocentric orientation exists when the parent attempts to blend its own predisposition with those of the region under consideration, thereby arriving at a region-sensitive compromise. Finally, number 4 is a corporation with a geocentric orientation adopts a global system approach to strategic decision-making, thereby emphasizing global integration. At the start of globalization, external and internal assessment are conducted before a firm enters global market. So here it is very important that we need to know what is SWOT analysis. So when you say SWOT analysis, S means strength, W is weakness, O opportunities, and T is threat. So the external assessment involves careful examination of critical features of the global environment. So lastly, internal assessment involves identification of the basic strength of a firm's operations. Orientation of the firm, mission under ethnocentric. So here, first is profitability or viability. Under the mission, which falls under the bracket of polycentric, public acceptance or legitimacy. So under mission, column regiocentric, profitability and public acceptance. So this has something to do with the viability and legitimacy. While for the geocentric, which falls under mission, same as the regiocentric. So meaning it has something to do with its profitability and public acceptance as well. For the governance, ethnocentric, meaning top-down management. While for the governance under polycentric, you are referring to the bottom-up management system. Each subsidiary decides on local objectives. So under regiocentric, which falls under the role of governance, mutually negotiated between region and its subsidiaries. And for the column of regiocentric, which falls under governance, mutually negotiated at all levels of the corporation. So your strategy under ethnocentric, global integration. While for the polycentric, which falls under the role of strategy, national responsiveness. Under the column of regiocentric, which falls under role of strategy, regional integration and national responsiveness. And under the column of geocentric, which falls under the role of strategy, global integration and national responsiveness. For the structure, the ethnocentric, we have the hierarchical product divisions. Under the structure, which falls under the column of polycentric, hierarchical area divisions with autonomous national units. And the structure, which falls on the column of regiocentric, we have the product and regional organization tied through the matrix. And for the structure, which falls under the column of geocentric, a network of organization, including some competitors. The orientation of the firm, we have the culture, technology, marketing, which falls under the finance or the finance department, under the home country mass production product development determined by the needs of home country. We have the repatriation of profits to home country, and under the finance, host country batch production, under the local product development based on local needs. We need to retain or the retention of profits in host country. For the finance, the regional flexible manufacturing standardized within region but not across the regions. We need to redistribution within the region. Then for the finance, which falls under global flexible manufacturing global product with local variations, still we need to redistribute the resources under globally. So the personal practices that falls under the culture, technology, marketing, under home country mass production, product development, determined by the needs of home country. Their people under this home country develop for key position in the world. While for their host country batch product, local product development based on local needs, their personal practices, people of local nationality develop for key positions in their own country. Under the regional flexible manufacturing, standardized within region but not across region. So regional people develop for key position anywhere in the region. And then for the personal practices under the Global Flexible Manufacturing Global Product with the local variations, their global personnel, development, and their placement. So what are the global strategy in actions? So the checklist of factors to consider in choosing foreign manufacturing sites. The following considerations were drawn from an 88-point checklist developed by Business International Corporation. So we have the economic factors, size of the GNP or the gross national products and product rate of growth, the foreign exchange position or the currency, size of the market for the firm's products, rate of growth. And then under the political factor, form and stability of the government, the attitude towards private and foreign investment by government, customers, and competition. Degree of anti-foreign discrimination. So under the geographic factors, proximity of site to export markets. Number 8 is availability of local raw materials. Number 9, availability of power, water, and gas. Under the labor factor, which is under number 10, availability of managerial, technical, and office personnel able to speak the language of the parent company. Number 11, degree of skill and discipline at all levels. Number 12, degree and nature of labor voice in management. We have the tax factors, tax rate trends, joint tax treaties with home country and others, availability of tariff protection, capital source factors, cost of local borrowing, modern banking systems, government credit aids to new businesses. And under business factors, number 19 is state of marketing and the distribution system. Number 20, normal profit margins in firms industry. 21 is competitive situation in the firm's industry. Do cartels exist? Complexity of the global environment. So the controls problem of the global firm and the global strategic planning under multi-domestic industries. Complexity of the global environment. So we have 5 factors affecting the increasing complexity of global strategic planning. So we have the multiple political, economic, legal, social, and cultural environments, as well as various rates of change. We have the interactions between the national and foreign environments are complex in terms of geographic separation, the culture, and national differences and variations in business practices all tend to make communication and control efforts more difficult. Global face extreme competition. Globals are restricted in their selection of competitive strategies by various regional blocks and economic integrations. Control problems of the global firm. Financial policies typically are designed to further the goals of the parent company and pay minimal attention to the goals of the host countries. Next is we have different financial environment make normal standards of companies' behavior more problematic. And the important differences in measurement and control systems often exist. So these problems can be reduced through more attention to strategic planning. Under the global strategic planning, so increasingly we make complex decisions. So here we need to consider multi-domestic versus global industries. A multi-domestic industries is one in which competition is essentially segmented from country to country. While in a domestic industry, so we are actually referring to a multi-domestic industry, a global corporations, subsidiaries should be managed as distinct entities. And for a global industry is one which competition crosses the national borders. So strategic management planning must be global. Now let us consider here what is domestic industry. Factors that increase the degree to which an industry is multi-domestic include the need for customized product to meet the taste or the preference of their local customers or consumers, the fragmentation of the industry with many competitors in each national market. Next is a lack of economies of skill in the functional activities of firm in the industry. Next is the distribution channels unique to each country. And then finally, a low technological dependence of subsidiaries on their research and development provided by the global firm. Global industries, the global challenge, location and coordination of functional activities, and next is the location and coordination issues. Global industry, an industry in which competition cross their national borders on a worldwide basis. So strategic management planning must be global for at least 6 reasons. The increased scope of the global management task, the increased globalization of firm. We have 3 aspects. One is difference among the environmental forces in different countries. Second, they experience great distances. Third is the interrelationship of global operations. the information explosion. We have the increasing global competition, the rapid development of technology. Then the strategic management planning breeds managerial confidence. Global industry factors that make for the creation of a global industry. We have the economies of skill in the function activity of firms in the industry. So you also need to have a high level of research and development expenditures on product that requires more than one market to recover development costs. So the presence in the industry of predominantly global firms that expect consistency of products and services across markets. Next is the presence of homogeneous product needs across markets, which reduces the requirement of customizing the product for each market. Then the presence of a small group of global competitors and a low level of trade regulations and of regulation regarding foreign direction investment. Factors that drive global companies: we have the global management team, global strategy, global operations and products, global technology and research and development, global financing, and global marketing. So the global challenge, the location and coordination of functional activities. We have a multinational corporation must determine the degree to which functional activities are to be coordinated across locations. Location and coordination issues. Addressing location and coordination issues depends on the nature of its industry and on the type of international strategy that the firm is pursuing. It is the ability to adjust to a workforce of varied cultures and lifestyles, and the capacity to incorporate cultural differences to the benefit of the company's mission and vision. Market requirements and product characteristics. So here you need to analyze also the international strategy options, the competitive strategies for firms in foreign markets. So we need also to consider here the niche market exporting, licensing, and contract manufacturing. Market requirements and product characteristics. So businesses have discovered that being successful in foreign markets often demand much more than simply shipping their well-received domestic products overseas. Firms must assess two key dimensions of customers' demand, customers' acceptance of standardized products, the rate of product innovation desired. Products can be arrayed along a continuum from products that are not subject to frequent product innovations to products that are often upgraded. International strategy options. We have the high and low chart here, which involves the coordination of activities. Under the high, This is the highest rate. High foreign investment with extensive coordination among subsidiaries. We need to become global by providing global strategy under the coordination of activities, which are actually rated as low under the geographically dispersed. So country-centered strategy by multinationals with a number of domestic firms operating in only one country. So the location of activities under low export-based strategy with decentralized marketing. Competitive strategy for firms in foreign markets. Strategies for firms that are attempting to move towards globalization can be categorized by the degree of multi-complexity of each foreign market being considered and by the diversity in a company's product line. So complexity refers to the number of critical success factors that are required to prosper in a given competitive arena. When a firm must consider many such factors, the requirements of success increases in complexity. So diversity is the second variable, refers to the breadth of a firm's business lines when a company offers many product lines or diversity is high. Escalating commitment to international markets. So take note that here at the origin we have low to market complexity to high, while for the product diversity from low till high. So the highest rate here is actually, it goes at the topmost part. Now, under the export, we need to consider here the array of the lines. So, of course, export is seen near at this diagram. So, the licensing, contract, and manufacturing and franchising is also very important, that you should consider these factors. Joint venture is also another consideration. Foreign branch, private equity investment, fully owned foreign subsidiaries. Competitive strategy for firms in foreign markets. Number one, we have niche market exporting. The primary niche market approach for the company that wants to export is to modify, select product, perform or measurement characteristics to meet special foreign demand. Licensing and contract manufacturing. So contractual arrangement, companies that want to venture beyond exporting but are not ready for an equity position on foreign soil. So licensing involves the transfer of some industrial property right from the licensor to a motivated licensee. So the continuation of competitive strategies on firms in foreign markets, we need franchising, joint ventures, foreign branching, equity investment, and fully owned subsidiaries. So franchising is a special form of licensing which allows the franchise to sell a highly publicized product or service. Use the parent's brand name or trademark. Use the carefully developed procedures and apply the marketing strategies. In exchange, the franchise pays a fee to the parent company based on the volume of sales and must adhere to the strict policies of the parent. While for the joint ventures, it offers permanent cooperative relationships because joint venture begins with a mutually agreement pooling on capital. So the production or marketing equipment, the patent, trademarks, or the management expertise. And for the joint venture, the compatibility of partners and their enduring commitment to mutually supportive goals are equally important to safeguard their joint venture. Foreign branching is an extension of the company in its foreign market to fulfill the operational duties assigned to it by corporate management and include sales, customer service, and physical distribution. And the host countries may require that the branch be domesticated. Equity investment, small and medium-sized enterprises with strong growth potential but in need of additional funds to be able to grow further often enlist the support of a venture capital firm or provide equity company to invest its shareholders' money for startups. And the wholly owned subsidiaries. So wholly owned foreign subsidiaries are considered by companies that are willing and able to make the highest investment commitment to the foreign market. These companies insist on full ownership for reasons of control and managerial efficiency. But of course, this is governed by the local laws of these foreign partners. So this ends our topic.